First and foremost, it's just tragic how Luminara Unduli's mummified body was just left on Stygian Prime, like Kanan, Jarrus, and Ezra. Bridger didn't get to retrieve the body and give it a proper funeral and respect. So that's unfortunate, but I mean, actually I haven't watched Star Wars Rebels in a long time, so I don't actually remember what happened to the body, but I think it was just left there, so yeah, sad, but oh well. Tragedy of the Jedi. And Kanan's body was never recovered either, now come to think of it. I think it was vaporized in all that gas, but the point is, when was Luminara Unduli captured? When exactly was she captured, and when exactly was she killed? So, there's two theories I have about this. I know I have many theories, but the first theory I have is that Luminara Unduli was simply captured right away on Kashyyk, because we see her in Revenge of the Sith, and she's giving orders to some clones, she's pointing somewhere, and she's on the ground. And the reason I say she was probably captured on Kashyyk is because Yoda was able to escape Kashyyk very easily, because there were only 2 clones behind him, Commander Gree and some other clone guy, and Yoda killed them both, and Tarful and Chewbacca helped him escape. And not to mention, Yoda was not on the ground, he was up in one of the high places in one of the, I don't know what you would call it, like it's like he was above ground floor, and he was just watching the battle from the high ground. Yeah, from the high ground, let's speak in Star Wars terms. Yoda was watching from the high ground, and because Yoda had the high ground, he could escape very easily. And as I said, he was only surrounded by 2 clones whom he easily decapitated. So, but Luminara Unduli, on the other hand, is on the ground floor, surrounded by clones, so it's much harder for her to escape. So maybe she was just captured on Kashyyk. Now, before we go on, I do want to say, I love how in the Luminara Unduli episode in Season 1 of the Clone Wars, they have Commander Gree, because that's really a nice touch, because Commander Gree is on Kashyyk in Revenge of the Sith with Luminara Unduli and Yoda, so that shows that Commander Gree is with Luminara. But the point is, Luminara could have been captured on Kashyyk. That is the first theory. Now, why would she have been captured on Kashyyk as opposed to killed right away on Kashyyk as she was in Legends? Well, the point is, maybe Darth Sidious figured that while the Jedi Purge would be very efficient and kill most Jedi, Darth Sidious probably knew that a few Jedi would still survive. So Darth Sidious figured maybe it'd be a good idea to have 1 or 2 Jedi locked up in prison and used as a trap to lure other Jedi. So maybe Darth Sidious figured he would lock up Luminara Unduli, pretend she's alive, but of course secretly kill her, and then use the fake rumor that she's alive to lure other Jedi to their deaths. So Darth Sidious maybe had like Luminara Unduli designated as the booby trap Jedi, and Darth Sidious maybe contacted the clones and he's like, oh hey, make sure you don't kill Luminara Unduli because we're going to use her as a trap. So that's the first theory I have. The second theory I have, and I'm going to be honest right now and say I like the second theory a little better, sort of, in that because there was so much chaos during the Battle of Kashyyk, and by the time Order 66 is executed, yes, the clones and Wookiees have already won, but the battle is still clearly going on, so maybe Luminara Unduli was able to escape at the chaos, escape the clones, and escape at the chaos. So Luminara Unduli maybe escaped Kashyyk and she was on the run for a while. However, many years later, as Darth Vader and the Inquisitors and Darth Sidious had killed many surviving Jedi, they knew that there were still quite a few Jedi still in hiding, and the Jedi who were in hiding were able to hide themselves very well, so they needed a method to lure out the Jedi, and that's when they stumbled upon Luminara Unduli. And maybe they figured that while killing Luminara Unduli would be a good thing, killing her in public might not be such a good thing, because killing Luminara Unduli in public would, sure, strike fear into the hearts of the surviving Jedi. However, because killing Luminara Unduli in public would make the Jedi afraid, make the surviving Jedi afraid, the surviving Jedi could then hide themselves even further, use more methods and more effort to hide themselves and make it harder for the Inquisitors and Darth Vader to find them. So So the Grand Inquisitor and Darth Vader, maybe they figured they would capture Luminara Unduli in public and lock her up and then kill her, but spread rumors saying that she's still alive just so that they could lure other Jedi to their deaths. Because when a surviving Jedi hears that there is another surviving Jedi, well, that's going to make them feel better and give them hope. And when a surviving Jedi, and Jedi, naturally, they want to help other people, especially if it's their own people, the other Jedi. So basically, the Grand Inquisitor would have manipulated the Jedi's hope and used it against them. So Luminara survived Order 6, escaped from Kashyyk, and she was on the run for many years. She escaped from Kashyyk and she was on the run for many years. However, she ended up being captured eventually and used as a trap to lure other Jedi to their deaths. So either way, it doesn't really matter because Luminara is still dead and she died a very... Like, I feel sorry for her almost. So, yeah, I mean, it was a tragic death, but oh well. Oh, and when did she die? I'm guessing right after being captured, she was tortured pretty extensively by the Grand Inquisitor and probably killed. I mean, definitely killed, obviously, because she's dead, but she was killed and used as a mummy booby trap. Now, Barisafi. I already made a video on Barisafi, but I wish we could have gotten to see Luminara Unduli's reaction to Barisafi being a traitor. And secondly, people have speculated that Barisafi became an Inquisitor. And personally, while I like the idea of Barisafi being an Inquisitor, I find it highly unlikely because Darth Vader would hate Barisafi for, you know, what went down with Ahsoka. So even though Darth Vader is not Anakin, he would, even though Darth Vader has buried the Anakin part of himself, Darth Vader would still hold a grudge against Barisafi and hate her. So I doubt that she would, even if she had been an Inquisitor, she would have survived very long. So yeah, I don't know what would become of her, but what would be cool is if maybe Barisafi was an Inquisitor and she was the Inquisitor who captured Luminara Unduli and brought her in. And of course, or Barisafi could be the Inquisitor who fought Ahsoka Tano and ended up dying. And of course, Ahsoka would have to purify Barriss crystals to get, I mean, yeah, so the point is, or actually, we already know that the Inquisitor that Ahsoka Tano killed was another Inquisitor. But then that seems to be a little different in the new series they're making, so who knows about that. But it would be cool if Barisafi was the Inquisitor who captured Luminara Unduli, brought her in. And you know, I mean, I know, I guess it would have been cool to see Barisafi as the Grand Inquisitor or Pong Krell as the Grand Inquisitor, as opposed to taking a side character, a Jedi Temple Guard, and making him a Grand Inquisitor. But the point is, I mean, I do like the Grand Inquisitor character, and of course, it's a little weird what they did in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but that's a video for another time. But the point is, I think Luminara Unduli escaped from Kashyyk and survived for a while, but was eventually captured a few years later. And maybe Barisafi was the Inquisitor who captured her. So wouldn't that be irony?